All right, let me. Hang on a second here. Let me close all these crazy windows and stuff. Hang on a second. Behind the scenes. Do 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 do. You all are muted, by the way. So if you had any fart jokes, we missed them. But hang on, let me close all this stuff real quick. So much open. Don't need to have all of this. Let's go with da da da. All right. Don't need that anymore. All right. All right, let's get the guests back over here. Hello?
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 No?
How are you doing today? Hello?
Doing well.
Is this just audio or is this video too?
No, I'm going back. It's gonna be just 4cam.
Okay.
I said to get all the
Ew.
screen regions
So I
and
have
stuff.
to use this monitor instead of looking at my good monitor.
Yeah, I'm trying to get everything off on this screen organized so I can not be totally cluttered with stuff. Because I have a lot of stuff on my screens that are open. I did, however, I paused my preview of the stream at a very bad position, I think. I don't know if I want to take a screenshot of this or not.
Like a weird expression. Like,
You have a very, yes. Sacer is looking at the camera like, what the hell is that? And then you're making this great, like, face. Just a little bit, like you just woke up from a nap face.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Gotta give us
that's
more.
the-
I mean,
that's
for
the way
the-
to flatter someone.
For the show, like, thumbnail that I make for the YouTube video, I go through the show and just try to find like a random picture of you. I love Jenny's little mysterious one that I picked up for the first episode where she's just like, because she's looking at Slootbag. I think it's perfect, but I just kind of find
like
one.
a Brady Bunch, kind of looking at each
Just
other.
Photoshop
Oh
like
my
that.
god, yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
I love that. You guys hear me pouring some water in my mic. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's a lot of fun. I was actually thinking about doing something at the end of the show. If you wanted a certain face for it, I might give you a moment and I'll just record it and I'll cut it out of the archive. Because instead of grabbing a random face, I'll grab one that you actually are comfortable with. I think that would be fine. But chat room, hello, mobs and minions, thank you very much. There was a little bit of like fumbly tonight that I was trying to get through, but a lot of it had to do with just the show notes and our organization process with them. We are working on that in the future, where they will not be Bible-ified.
We
by our
probably
guests.
should have organized ours.
I mean,
Just, I mean, how many pages is it?
Plus
It was
so
only
much of it was,
2.
like, crossed out and like.
but there was only 2
Everywhere.
pages of the show
Yeah.
notes normally. Usually 2.5 pages, and it's now like 12.
Hold on. If I do file print, it is. Hold on.
I mean, 1 page doesn't matter. 'Cause-
14.
Yeah, well, 1 page doesn't matter because that's all like that's the top layer stuff, and then like the second page is usually like my stuff for me, and then yeah, 12 pages from 2.5. So that was a ton of stuff you guys put up there. And I love it because we try to get to as much as possible in that 90-minute window. But it was a little fumbly tonight because we're trying to figure out, well, where are we? Do we want to skip this part? Do I want to go to this? And am I following you right? And you know, yeah.
Plus,
but
we covered a few topics in multiple sections.
yeah,
so.
but I think there's definitely some reiteration that is good because there's lots to talk about each episode, and I think people really enjoy hearing about. Because I'd say it's the whole point of Final Boss. I mean,
Right.
I mean, shoot, but yeah.
I do feel bad that literally at one point, the show notes basically turned into dialogue between Sacer and myself.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? Oh, really? That's interesting. But we would just indent another bullet. Like, I think page like 7 is like 7 indents over necessary.
Yeah,
And I'm like, okay, let's talk about Spirit Shell haste math.
it was like, it was like a staircase that went back and forth of all the stuff
Well, I
you guys
threw
were
up my
talking about.
hands. Like, you know, I'm just actually just going to do a full out analysis of this and post that.
Yeah.
Ready, set, go. Here.
I mean, because if people want to really, the dig deep for priests is definitely go to howtopriest.com. Is definitely a great place to go. So that's a second plug via the Omi. No, I'm just kidding. But definitely, there's only so much you can talk about in this short window, and there's definitely a lot you can read about too. So
Well, I find it really interesting. The healing community tends to get very mathy on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Which I find really interesting because healing is what happens to feel. There's a kind of like an art to it versus DPS is like there's a clear defined rotation and this is what's going to give you the mathematically most the most DPS. Whereas I think we said it before and we didn't use it, and the single player healing game isn't the game you play. You play the team healing game. And if you're playing the single player healing game, you're going to lose.
Yeah, we didn't bring that up. Actually, I totally forgot that. We should have had that. That was your quote. I would have to have. That was the quote. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But if the mobs and minions, which again, for those of you who are new, mobs are boys and minions are girls.
So are you implying that the girls have to be minions, which sounds like it's a little bit more subservient? You're gonna get
no. I mean, originally I was gonna call
feminists on the internet rally around.
No, minion sounds cuter than mob.
Minionettes.
Like
that's minion.
Like
I mean, I was looking at because trash mobs are usually what we call things in dungeons, right? But I'm not gonna call our viewers trash mobs. That's just bad. So they're mobs for dudes. And then minions, and it just is a cuter word, I thought. I mean,
diminutive.
What?
Oh, totally.
Wow. Fair enough.
Don't say that.
We didn't say that at all this show, I don't think, did we? I know, we didn't. I was actually making it a point to not say fair enough.
Thank you.
Fair enough.
Love it. Love
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
I like how we're finally all like drinking water and whatnot. Like.
Well, this is eventually gonna be the red cup I'm always gonna use. I just haven't been using it lately, but this is my mug I always have with my computer.
Because I don't have the stream going because I keep on hearing echo.
Oh,
and I
that's
don't
a cool mug. So I just have this glass.
It's
those little fancy schmancy glasses you get your Arnold Palmers in.
It is it's an optical illusion glass because it looks like a square, but it's a circle inside. So I don't know. It actually kind of like you have to drink from one of the flat edges, not one of the corners, because there's too much glass there. But
does it ever like dribble like down your face?
No, that's just because I don't know how to drink properly.
Ah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to drink properly.
We should get one of those like sippy cup attachments for the lid.
My problem with the straw I'm using is metal.
Metal, yeah. They're more sanitary than plastic.
That's true, and you can reuse them.
Correct.
That's the big thing. But I was like, okay, I'm muted. I can take a sip of water now.
Well, no, see, what I was looking at, so minions is what they're called in League of Legends, what they call the little purple and blue guys are called minions, but they're like these little cute, cloaked little guys, and I thought that was more synonymous with girls than calling them mobs, because the first thing you think of is mobs, if you think of trash mobs or like the mafia, like a mob, that's very kind of gruff and bearded.
Minions, like...
well,
Succubi and
Succubus,
whatnot.
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to associate women with like the Beholder or the Fell Demon or whatever else. I mean, those aren't very like
Ladylike.
Very ladylike, no. And the succubus is kind of like insulting, unless you're into that sort of thing. I mean, you.
I'm having fun reading chat. My favorite one is the reason why you're showing your chest hair today is to pick up the dribbles.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought it's just because I'm Polish and I'm kind of hairy. I mean, I thought that was what it was. I'm putting on. It was brought up on the show before. A lot of Final Boss TV is I've learned a lot from watching Legendary and Game Breaker TV because I love what Gary Gannon has built, right? And he always has his big thing back in his day. Always has V-necks on. So I always I want to have something that has a V every episode just to kind of like poke fun at that. He doesn't do it all the time anymore now, but he was notorious for V-necks. So. This is not actually a V-neck because it's a button-up shirt, but I mean that's what it looks like. Whatever.
You get those like hipster American Apparel, like super deep V's that go down to your belly button.
Oh, so there's crew necks, then there's V-necks, and then there's douche necks.
There's
totally
different. What's a douche neck?
Those V's that go down to your navel.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
Well, poros are just poros, Emily. They're not minions like normal. But they need a gold chain. What? Suck it down? Suck it down.
Yeah, I just saw that. I'm so confused.
I guess that might be a banned word. But she can't get timed out because she's a mod.
That's amazing. Blacklisted spam.
You should say, no, it shouldn't say suck it down. It needs to say pipe the fuck down. Because that's what Jenna Marble says when you should calm down. Yeah, pipe down.
Oh
no! You know who sells douche necks is American Apparel. That's where like hipsters go and get their douche necks.
Well, we're not gonna get sponsored by them anytime soon now.
I like, actually, I already told a couple of the people, Annafel, who's, I think she's going to be the de facto person leading up the charge for guild t-shirts.
Oh, NFL.
Is going to be, I'm like, we have to get American Apparel t-shirts because they are the most comfortable t-shirt ever to wear.
Yeah.
Oh, it totally is American Apparel
Is
deep
it?
neck.
Is it?
Is it
my
really?
God,
I
yes.
totally called that shit.
I knew that.
Wow, yeah, no, that is awful. That is definitely the
Pretty
D-neck.
bad.
That is the D-neck.
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 That is not even attractive at all. If maybe that was a woman, that would be fine, but it would be a little, like, obscene.
This
No,
is not like
not even for women. I'm sorry.
scraggly long ones. It's like, dude, at least manscape a bit. Come on. Oh, Muffin. Really?
Do WoW players even wear American Apparel? Pfft, I have no idea.
I have American Apparel t-shirts. They're
Yeah.
I have a pair of American Apparel, what I refer to
I mean,
as
we're not saying that American Apparel is you shouldn't wear it. Just don't wear those. Just don't wear the D-necks because reasons.
I like American. It's comfortable.
Are there any?
I have trouble buying their stuff online in public because I feel like a lot of it's just not safe for work, and yet, you know, it's a clothing company. I don't know if you guys can sympathize with me on that, but just don't go to the American
Well, their
Apparel
website is very reminiscent of that old CK1 ad that kind of got in trouble for like child pornography. Remember that from the 90s?
Ah, it's awkward.
No.
Is that what it?
Am I being really old now?
I'm trying to be as old as you right
let's
now.
Look it up.
I'm trying to be as old as
There's
you.
an old CK1 ad that was like in like a wood paneled basement, and it was like intentionally designed to be very like homemade movie. Remember this?
Yeah, I
And they
don't.
got like completely like railroaded, but this is a little too child porny. This exists. Hold on, I'm googling this now. I'm gonna be
This
Googling
is
child
total.
porn.
This is
I'm gonna
totally.
be like blacklisted by the NSA or something. Let's see here.
Are there any actual priest questions, or are we gonna talk about D-necks all night?
I don't know. Let's see. If
I mean, I was 10 in '95. I mean, I should have remembered that to some degree.
We're 10 and 9. Oh god, I feel old.
What
I was
the-
almost driving. I was 15.
A little too child porny. Drevka 2013.
band ad.
Oh, what was it?
I'm watching right now.
Twin top. I actually, I'll tell you this right now. We
Found
we
it.
skipped priest DPS because of time and almost because the notes they put on there were kind of trolly. I didn't want to bring it up because it's not a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. And when we brought about it in the pre-interview, Drevka just laughed.
We did. It's stupid. It's a waste of time and energy. Okay.
Yeah.
This is what Calvin Klein did in 1995, and they got completely railroaded about it. And if you think about it, it's like, oh, that's kind of child porn.
Because they're like 14, 16 or something like that. There you go.
No, they were all both over 18, but you know.
Oh, well, just because of the imagery of it and the
And like
okay.
the wood paneling, it seemed really like someone's basement.
They're on like a stepladder or some shit.
Please.
Oh, the last guy is only wearing a vest. That's interesting.
What is that?
I wish I knew.
I guess but yeah, if the models, because you have to be over 18 to be a model, unless you're in like, for that company probably, I'm assuming.
Oh, I'm sure. You know, they're known for their undies. It's pretty real here.
I don't think I have any CK underwear. No.
I have some SpongeBob underwear that I don't wear anymore. Boxers, to be precise, but.
There was a holy question up there. If you missed it.
Oh yeah, where is it?
There you go.
Question. Haste. Oh, no.
Is it from Rizzle Sham?
It's from
Okay, so
Slades.
Oh, I see.
Slades.
spamming
Slade
in
S.
Serenity with Cascade. It's kind of like the poor man's Thunder Focus T uplift. It can work, but it's very dependent on the damage lining up with your Cascade refresh, and I'm not a big fan of it. I think you're much better off just using more traditional holy healing. And yeah, I mean, you know, Jasmine can wave that banner all day and all night. I on 10 mana it will work, but renew scales 4. it.
Yeah, it's not very good.
It's not.
What's
like,
the coefficients on instant cast? Like 28% or something?
I can tell you right now.
Or less, really?
Hold on, let me pull up my spreadsheet. Hold on. I have a math thingy on this. Where is it? I think renew is like in the. I think it might be 20 even. Hold on. Where is it? 20.7.
Wow. So not even 28.
So from a scaling perspective, it's absolute garbage.
Yeah.
You know, you do get a little bit of a bonus from your Chakra Serenity state for it being, you know, obviously more than a little bit, but
yeah,
you get a bonus from your Chakra Serenity state. But you know, people using renew like a rejuve, if that's the case, just bring the Tree Druid.
Field Crest is a good question right here, I guess, too. You just posted it.
Oh, tipping point. It's a little bit tricky because there is no, generally speaking, about 40k spell power is where secondary stats are going to start to overcome int, but it really depends on what your other secondary stats are, because crit makes mastery better, and then mastery continues to make crit better. So it's a little wonky. There's a where's Dane's heal calculator. So I'm gonna throw in a link. This is another member of the community's online calculator. It's also a senior member at How to Priest. You can import your character. If you're not familiar with this, feel free to toss me a note or whatever how to use it, or work straight with him as well. You can import your character from the armory, and then the real point of where this works, you can create your own specific rotation, but I would pay attention to the right-hand side where it will show your effective change based on 1,000 stat swing. And there's actually another thread.
Again, more reasons to go to howtopriest.com if you want to have priest talk, questions, or curiosities. There's so much there, it's ridiculous.
You could definitely use more Healy priests over there too.
Yeah.
Feel
Just
a little.
because Veiled Bot Shadowpriest.com does not mean this is a Shadow Priest website.
Veiled Bot.
Okay, here we go. So that link there is a discussion. If you look at my post towards the bottom, look for the finger snapping Nene Leaks. That's my avatar. You'll see kind of where you'll see the tilt. For me, it's about 40k, but that's because of my existing mastery levels. So
Veiled Bot, yeah. So, Magdalena had a question.
No,
I
he
can
didn't.
answer that. I can answer that one a little bit.
Where is he? He's making shit up. Did he really?
Yeah, nostalgia question. Spirit Shell's often been a pretty defining raid saver cooldown in this expansion. When you think back to both tier 14 and tier 15 encounters, which ones do you think best exemplify what a huge difference Spirit Shell made to your raid and why? So what encounters basically Spirit Shell carried you through? The first one I can think of is Windlord, even though he should be Blade Lord and Blade Lord should be Windlord. But anyway, like
I know.
Windlord.
So confusing.
Windlord, right before you would get the initial grab to get pushed across the room slowly, Spirit Shell the shit out of your raid, and you're totally fine. You get to this side of the event, you're all full life, basically. You wouldn't even... The impact one was crazy, because then when you get there, you basically pop a trank on one side and pop a trank on the other side. But to not... Yeah, dire calls between, but to get that transition going before it happens, before like the 30% swing or whatever it was, Spirit Shell. That's what I think of right off the bat.
Or get Spirit Shell before you have to do the gauntlet run.
Well, in phase one of Blade Lord too, it was really important. I think that the what is it? The arrow or
the soak, the cleave, whatever.
The cleave, yeah, the cleave.
That had a 50-second.
Yeah, it lined
cooldown.
up.
So you do your first Spirit Shell 15 seconds before. Your next one you'd be able to do like 5 or 10 seconds before. Third one you do a powered barrier. Yeah. And then you just start over, and you could effectively mitigate every single. I forget what that ability is called, but
whatever the cleave was.
Yeah, tier 14. Tier 14 is so 8 months ago.
I know, and I mean, Blade Lords were Wind Lords, and Wind Lords were Blade Lords, so it's kind of.
I really wonder if Blizzard oops a daisy during the development stage on that.
I really think they did. I do.
Because Blade Lord cast Wind and Wind Lord cast Blades.
Well, they both had an ability, like, you know. So
Except for Wind Bombs. I think that was the only...
Yeah, Wind Bomb on Blade Lord
was a blade swing that puts the dot on you. And...
Yeah.
I'd say the first one though that it really made an impact for me was Garajal, because we were progressing on that fight before Disc got all the buffs. And everyone was like, Disc is shit. Like, you're never going to raid if you're Disc. And all the top guilds were dropping their Disc priests. And
in Tier 14?
Yeah. Tier 14. This was like the first week or two of MOP. And on Garajal, people are like, oh my god, Spirit Shell is awesome for Voodoo Dolls. Get these Disc priests back in the game.
There was a lot of, when we first got to Tier 14, though, they were so, like, for me, I was ready for it, but there was a different, like, preparation for Tier 14 because there was 3 instances. They were gated differently, and you didn't really know, like, the flow, which one you were going to go, like, this one first, this one last. Like, so there was a lot of bouncing around at first. So different healing comps and different raid comps kind of fit differently with each boss because there were so many different styles of encounters. So it's going to be interesting to see. With Tier 15 right now, it was completely linear. You almost went the same thing every fight. You either picked up a healer or dropped a healer, basically.
That's the thing that's always tricky, is the healers and tanks. Like, oh, this fight only needs 1 tank. Hope your tank has an off spec.
Yeah.
Or you have a Prot Paladin main tank, and then you just can 1 tank everything. And then you get to Raden and you use a monk, and then you're fine.
What's a monk?
What's a monk? Speaking of that, real quick, too, we didn't have enough time to, because we had our tanks on a vacation this week. So we didn't have our monk on Raden. He didn't die, actually. We didn't kill Raden this week on that last reset. Because healing
it's okay, you would have gotten 3 cloaks anyways.
Yeah, bro. Healing Raden without a monk tank, a brewmaster, is so different. Because if you miss 1 cooldown, it's like Sheer on Illidan back in the day. If you miss 1 shield block...
had a warrior and a DK.
You do? Well,
for
Raden?
That fight. Yeah, the DK didn't tank. We had our warrior tank because the DK tank is so weak for it.
Yeah, that's what I say. Don't do DK tank. Okay.
That's all we have.
Yeah.
And then we sometimes make one of our rets go prot. That's about it.
Blue Pachi has a question. And Rizzlesham did too.
I answered Rizzles.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, dude. Perfect.
Which is basically yes, take solace.
Well, again, the whole point of Final Boss is to get... He just posted it. He said, between Absorbs and Atonement, Disc is just so much to have for 10s at the moment. Do you think it's actually going to be possible to make things more even without gutting Disc again and adding equivalents to the other healers?
I think it's possible, but I don't think they'll do it. I think there'd be way too much of an uproar.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier at the beginning of MOP, Disc was shit, and we got a lot of buffs. And I remember reading some of Derevka's post where it was kind of the sky is falling mentality, and they buffed us. They buffed the shit out of us. And
I didn't say the sky is falling. I think, if anything, I said everyone calm the F down.
Yeah. Pipe the F down. Pipe it.
I think I actually said keep calm and keep healing is actually what I wrote. I did, right here.
But getting back to that, I think we were good at the beginning of MOP just because we have such good utility. We didn't need to have crazy throughput, and it's true, unfortunately, that a lot of guilds were dropping their Disc priests those first couple weeks of MOP, but my guild didn't. I mean, my guild leader recognized that we have a very specific role in the raid, and whether we're not there to carry the throughput, we're there to prevent damage, and you can't replace that.
I think, I don't know, the atonement being a problem is a bit of a fallacy, I think. Because, you have a lot of those Disc priests out there, like, all I do is atonement heal, and I just want to slap them. It's because that is
right
not
in face.
What Disc really should be all about. Like,
yeah.
If you're only atonement healing and you're doing fine, like, you might look good on the meters, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's effective healing.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between true effective healing and effective healing, meaning it's not overhealing, right? Meaningful healing is probably a better word.
Hi, Francis.
Way
to be late.
I do think there are some issues with I think how some people play Disc versus the other. Are Disc viable in challenge modes? I did all my CM golds as Disc.
Yeah.
The problem is that Disc does have a fairly steep gear curve. A little bit at that 463 level more than Holy does. But depending on what your comp makeup would be, you might need the added DPS that it'll do.
Just caught what Spazidin said when we were talking about DK on Raw Dead. Yeah, don't do that, please. Bear druids and DK blood tanks cannot Raw Dead effectively. Just be scared.
He only takes the ads. He takes the ads, but doesn't. And I think he does it in DPS gear.
So Jada had a question. It's a really long one, but he was they were talking about triage. Yeah, if you want to read that and see what you want to say about that.
Triage is an interesting concept. I think it's an interesting concept, but it will never work, particularly in the land of smart healing. It worked in tier 11 because mana was so tight, and that's the only thing that throttled it. Triage was throttled by the fact that we had not enough mana to just heal like mad. Now that we have the meta gems and a lot more spirit, that'll exist. And I think you'll always see that triage kind of, I hit the word I'm looking for, paradigm, there we go, for the first part of any expansion, because the gear curve is the problem there. I think you'll always see a return to the beginning of every expansion, but again, it's all gear related until you outgear the regen problem with it.
Yeah. This is part of the show that I love the most part, is that we can't answer everything, but there's so many awesome people here, and we have our mini bosses, which we call our mods, in the chat room right now that can really answer stuff. I know Emily Illumina has been going crazy nuts all night tonight talking to people, which is super great.
Yeah, and Veiled too. She's been answering.
Veiled bot, yeah. I mean, when she comes around, sometimes when she's not.
Let's not give her praise. Come on.
No beat boop.
Lose control.
Yeah.
Okay.
She will. We got a couple more minutes here if you guys have any other questions. If you didn't already follow the stream, you probably should do that. All our social networking stuff is also on finalboss.tv. It's super easy. Our YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and the email. And soon there'll be an iTunes link up there. That's my big plan for this week, is to get the iTunes side of the show going on, where you'll have the audio only of each show. That is the purchase that's on my...
Done?
Well, what we're doing, we have to buy the hosting for it, and then once I do that, I'll just rip the MP3s out of these 3 episodes and post them up and get them on the iTunes store. They'll be free, obviously, but some people just want to listen to just the show itself without the video rather. That's what I want to do, is have all 3. We have a live, an archive of the video, and then a archive of just the audio. So that's on that plate this week. I'm a super busy boy. I work a real job. I'm the editor for my production company that works through Florida Hospital, so Monday through Friday, I have not only working on this, but I also have to work on my actual job that pays the bills. So, but so I get this is real life. But I'll try to get the definitely get the MP3 stuff up soon, because I don't want to have so many episodes to MP3-ify before it's too late.
Most def.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's different. I know people were making fun of me tonight because I missed it. I didn't know priest cooldowns and whatnot. Like, I'm an enhancement shaman and sort of a prop paladin.
It's not your problem. That's not your problem.
I played Resto Druid for vanilla, which is fine. But I don't. For me, I'm going to learn stuff from this show as it is. But yeah, I mean, I'm the ignorant host. It's fine. I hit the buttons and make all the.
It's hard to keep track of it all.
So it's a lot.
Well, that's true too.
We have a ton of buttons.
Yeah. So you guys both have the Logitech mice with the thumb pads, something like that?
Oh, Click. That's another one we should have brought up if you're not.
Oh, yeah.
I assume that was granted.
Yeah. Well, some people probably don't know about it. I mean.
Yeah.
Really? How do you heal and not know about?
Now, do you call it? I always thought it was pronounced Clique because it's like CLIQUE or something like that, right?
It's Click the same way that like Click
that's how
in
you'd
like
say it.
a clique of people.
Yeah.
The same.
College, high school, sorority cliques, blah blah. You know.
Blah blah.
I say it both ways.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
Yeah. Jenny is getting so blown out right now. It's ridiculous. Look at her background. It's crazy.
It's unsetting.
I know. I can't. I need to get like, blackout curtains.
No, I mean it looks fine. It actually looks kind of cool, but it's like this huge
like a star is exploding like, behind my window.
The supernova.
Need a second brown blanket. Just tape it on.
Well, it's as hot as it looks. That's for sure. A cashmere sweater is not the way to go.
Bad idea.
bad choice. It's like 98 degrees right now.
No, asking questions is the whole part of the show, Field. Don't even worry about that. Every episode is devoted to the community. I mean, when I was looking at making Final Boss and working on it around the back now for... I mean, it was in the process of being worked on for 2 to 3 months before it even came to fruition in a pilot episode. I saw that they were... And there's awesome podcasts out there. Tons of great ones that I've learned from, ones that I've kind of emulated in some way. Like the screen you're seeing right now is taken from one specific one in general. But they're all very newsy, I thought. And I felt that there was definitely a way to reach out to these top-tier players around the world and get them in front of the camera to answer and talk about all these things that I think is a really good thing for the community to have. And that's why Mana Flask loved the idea so much, and we're working with them now, too, in cooperation with them. Because they do all the guides and boss write-ups and strats and have these really great streamers that are on there, too. But you can only learn so much from reading guides and stuff, but you can learn a ton from just talking to these guys. Talking to these, you know, men and women around the world that play the game and that are just really, really good at it, proficient at it, and have a niche in their communities, but just to spread the love around to all you guys is the goal. But I didn't really feel that there was something there. There was a lot of news for WoW, but not a lot of almost like interviewee kind of Q&A-ish shows, so that's where we are. That's where Final Boss comes in. But I don't know if chat is not working. The last thing I see is that...
My chat is not working.
My chat's not working.
Yeah, my chat broke.
I can't even reconnect either. It's unable to reconnect
Signed
chat.
out.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm gonna send a test.
But if you guys have some questions that you saw before quick, otherwise we are gonna
kind of play with the Final Boss logo.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like hold on to it if I want to.
Other side of you.
Oh, this side of me. Hold on.
Down more. Yeah, you're waiting for the... Yeah.
It's
There you go.
Almost there. Yeah.
Almost.
All of the Final Boss TV art so far has been done by Leonaka, who just joined the chat room. She does all the artwork for my Twitch stream as well, too, and my YouTube and all that good stuff. So she is a indispensable asset. Is that the right word? Yes. We couldn't get rid of her. She's done so much.
Had it like animated, and all of a
and
sudden
we have
be like, oh, I can talk to Ragnar.
Well, we have so much. You have no idea. Right now, the show is in a definitely early beta phase because I have so much more that I want done with art. And oh, there goes chat. It's like there's a lot more to do with with art.
Up with my chats.
So give Final Boss a couple more months, and we're gonna have so much more done. Character models and icons and a fully animated intro sequence that's gonna have Jenny and I in it with people, and yeah, it's gonna be wild. We have a lot to work on, but again, this is our third show.
Go through that one too.
So, am I? Oh, am I? Hey, maybe.
No.
I blame my awesome microphone. Damn.
There's no airplanes in Jenny's mic anymore either.
No airplanes anymore.
Yep.
For sure.
See, I'm looking at chat. They're talking about cooldowns, but that was like 3 minutes ago.
Oh, my chat's
now.
back.
Yeah, my chat is not back.
iTunes is chest hair free.
Well, too bad.
Not anymore.
Yeah, because Jenny said I don't like a minute and a half ago now. Vocal said test. You can make your own mouse over macros. Spazidin said, which I want clique, I guess. So
that's all I have is iTunes is chest hair free, and I don't have nothing else.
NFL, there's going to be an audio version only, and that's going to be a widget eventually on the page as well once we get that done. Getting hosting and an RSS feed for a audio-only version of the show is kind of obnoxious, and it is an expense we have to work on. So, oh no, Veiled-Bot's back. Chat's broken. Incoming spam yet again. Down. Don't apologize. Ask more. We love questions. I love how I have 2 chat windows open, and one updates more than the other one. I don't understand what the difference is. Obviously, there's too much esports on this website, but we'll hang around for a little bit after the show goes down here. We're gonna get out of here. I know some of us have to eat. I know I have to. I am a hungry, chest-haired man. But the guys will hang out for a little bit to answer any questions that aren't to our eyes just yet. But again, we'll see you guys next week, right here on FinalBoss.tv, Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, with Warlocks, with Shinafei and Sparkugs. Blood Legion and Method Warlocks. Yeah, I'm super excited because
quite a combination.
Spark is one of the Warlocks I've always watched kill videos of Method from because he does other kill video stuff, and we have Warlocks that I've always like asked like, why can't you do what Spark is doing? And it's like, because Spark is a god among men. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to talk about that at that high level and see what Warlocks can bring to the table. And it's gonna be a cool show because we're gonna talk about basically Warlocks got super changed in MoP. It's gonna be interesting to talk about. It's gonna be fun because I don't know. I know one is good for single target and one is good for AoE and one does nothing right now. So.
I know mages don't like them.
Well,
it kind of it depends on the fight and it depends on what you have gear-wise, and also the nerfs to RPPM next patch and how that's going to affect inherently how it's going to affect Demo.
Yeah, that might be an entire show on itself before the patch drops. I might want to try to get like a tank, a DPS, like a ranged DPS and a melee DPS on the show to try to talk about just the RPPM changes for all three sides of the spectrum, because the healing RPPM is kind of like you deal with procs all the time, but for DPS and tanking it's very different.
Yeah,
because
like
right now, if you start a fight off and both your trinkets don't proc, you just don't do damage.
Yep, pretty much. I know for a fact, like, you know, pretty much DPS are very dependent on their RPPM trinket procs, and you know, a lot of DPS go haste builds to increase their proc chance. Yeah. But I know for a fact that, like, comparing my hunter to my warlock, warlocks are way more dependent on their trinkets than, say, my hunter. You know, for my hunter, trinkets, they come and go. I just, you know, have more haste and, you know, I do more damage. And it doesn't really affect my rotation a whole lot. Whereas warlocks, you know, your trinket procs and you immediately change gears.
Yep. But we'll see you all here. Mobs and Minions, thank you very much for hanging out with us again. We'll see you next Sunday. We're going to get out of here. Final sign-offs, guys, if you would like. Maybe make a face that I can grab for the show. Thumbnail if you want.
Oh,
like
now
a nice,
or later?
Right now. Go for it. If you want something for the show.
I don't know what to do either. I'm just...
You should... Jenny, your camera is cutting off too much of your forehead. Back up a little bit. Yeah, give me something. Give me it right there. You're gonna do... I don't know. Do the...
No, I don't think so.
Because I'll grab a snapshot right now and use it for the thumbnail. So do whatever you want to do. You got...
I'm okay. I'm fine.
No, that's way too much pressure. Just
way too much pressure?
Just find good ones.
Pick one randomly, and you know, it could be definitely the most attractive one like this.
You can't even do a double chin! What the... It's not even there.
Try.
It's terrible. We'll see you guys next week.